Hi everybody and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Today I'm here at Norman's Musical Instruments in Burton-on-Trent, and I'm in one of their studios today reviewing one of their pianos from their own range called AXUS. The piano that I'm going to be reviewing for you today is called the AXUS Digital AXS2. And it's a full-size piano that I'm going to be reviewing for you. The price for this in the UK is $299.99, so £300. In dollars it's approximately $490, but obviously that's going to vary on the exchange rate. All the details for where you can buy this and everything are going to be in the description bar directly underneath the video. The cost of shipping to the US is going to be approximately $65 to have this shipped to the US, remembering that you can only actually buy this from Norman's Musical Instruments here in the UK. So this is a little bit about what Norman say about their AXUS AXS2. So it's an 88 hammer action keyed piano, so there's 88 keys, so it's a full-size piano, and hammer action just means that you've got the feel of a normal piano. So unlike a keyboard where the keys feel sort of I suppose a little bit spongy, you've got some weight behind these as well, so they're as close to a sort of grand piano feel, or an acoustic piano feel if you like, as you can get. There's 559 voices, so that means things like you've obviously got your traditional piano, but strings, trumpet, trombone, choir, guitar, all that kind of thing. So 559 of those things. And you've got 203 styles, so that's your rhythm section. So you might have a waltz or a pop or a rock, jazz, something like that. Including 3 user styles. So user styles are just where you can input your own kind of thing if you want to, or input your own kind of style. You've got 100 songs and 2 demo songs with this. Overall control, you've got a one-touch setting, so that means that the keyboard, or sorry, the piano will set itself up similar to how a keyboard would, but if you click on a style, a one-touch setting sets you a suitable voice that goes with the appropriate style. So it takes the kind of guesswork out of that if you wanted to kind of explore those features. You've got a transpose button as well, so if you were accompanying a choir or accompanying somebody singing, and perhaps what you were playing was in a different key to what the singer was used to, or perhaps you're playing too high or too low, instead of you actually having to transpose sort of as sight in your head, which is quite difficult to do, you can just use the old transpose button on the piano and it does that for you. You've got a dual, which means that you can have two voices on at once, so you can have a trumpet and strings or something like that. You've got a split, so it means you can split the piano whichever kind of point you want to, so you can have strings up at this end and piano down at that end, vice versa, or any other sounds that you want to have. It's got touch sensitivity, so that's good because that goes with the weighted keys, which are the hammer action keys, and the touch sensitivity is where you've got, if you hit the keyboard or hit the piano harder, you get a louder sound, and if you hit it softer, you get a softer sound. So it's exactly as a piano would be. You've got an accompaniment section as well if you want to put on a few rhythms, start, stop, sync, intro, ending, that kind of thing. And you've got some style records and record playback if you want to use those features as well. You've got a DC 12 volt connector that you use to have the keyboard or plug the keyboard in with, and you can put some headphones in it as well and attach MIDI and sustain pedal if you want to put those in as well. So I'm going to play a little sample for you to have a listen to, and I'm going to be playing 1 or 2 pieces from my great piano book that I've written along with Simon. The purchase details for this book are going to be in the link underneath, so if you like what you hear and you want to purchase the book, then please do. That always helps support us. So the links will be in the description bar underneath. But this piece is called A Moment Please. about a few pros and cons. So the pros of this piano, it's a lovely looking piano. It's available in silver. It comes with a nice little stand that I don't know if the camera can see. I'll show you a clip of that a little bit later on. And it's full-size piano, so you've got 88 keys, so that's a good bonus. So you're not losing anything, you're not getting anything that's kind of 76 keys and where you're losing an octave on the top. So it's a full size, it's quite light, it's nice, it's compact, all that kind of thing. You've got some really nice little features on there. If you're just getting bored playing with regular piano sounds, you want to put in some strings or some brass or something, that could be quite fun too. Also, you can put some rhythms into what you're doing, so you can kind of have a little mini band or a little keyboard in your home, which is quite good. I have similar functions to that on the Clavinova that I have at home, and occasionally I do get a little bit bored and I want to put a different sound on it. Just adds just for fun, just adds a little bit of a different perspective on it. You've got inbuilt speakers just either side of the piano here as well, and the piano sound that's on here at the moment is it's got a little bit of reverb on it, so it's got a nice little bit of resonance on it. It's got quite a nice deep rich sound to this, so I was quite surprised at this when I first looked at it. The speakers don't really look much, but actually the piano is quite nice and rich and deep sounding, so you do get quite a nice sound. So it is quite a nice resonant sound. So for a kind of a digital, kind of mid-range digital piano, you are getting quite a nice piano sound. The feel of the piano is quite nice, and it's very similar to an acoustic piano. So you've got the weighted keys and you've got the touch sensitivity as well, which are really the two main important things in a piano. So some cons, some negative points. There isn't really anything that's hugely negative about the piano. I guess the only slight negative comment that I might have is just that some of the sampled sounds that you've got here aren't the best quality, but then for a kind of a mid-range piano at around about £400 or $600, something like that, you wouldn't expect to have the top quality sounds, because then you're going to get that in a much higher end model where you're paying more money. So the sounds are not too bad, they're just obviously not the same, they're not sampled the same as they would be with higher end ranges. So they're okay, but they're not the best, but you would expect that anyway. In conclusion, I think overall this is quite a nice piece of kit as far as digital piano goes. I think it would be suitable for more or less anybody really. I think it would definitely be suitable for beginners if you didn't want to start with something smaller, you wanted to go in with something a lot better, and especially if you wanted to go in with the weighted keys and the touch sensitivity as well. If you're buying a keyboard, remember that you don't get you get the touch sensitivity quite often, but you don't get the weighted keys, so you won't get the feel of the keys kind of pushing down and lifting up underneath your fingers as you're playing. So it would be quite good for an intermediate player as well, someone who wants to upgrade from a keyboard. They can upgrade to something like this for very little extra without shelling out kind of thousands of pounds or hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it would be nice for an intermediate player. Would it take you to a higher end? Possibly. I think it probably would, but I think by the time you probably got to that higher end in your playing, you would probably want to advance into something with a little bit more kind of to it, perhaps with a slightly different feel. But by the time you got to that stage, you'd kind of pretty much know what you were looking for anyway. So all in all, I would recommend this. I do think it's a nice, I think it's a nice piece of kit overall. Like I said, some of the sampled sounds aren't the best in the world, but the piano sound that you're getting is a really nice piano sound. It's got a very, very deep low end to it. It's got a really nice reverb on it, so you wouldn't be disappointed with the sound of the piano if you bought that. The feel of it is quite nice as well. But again, the feel is very representative of the price point that you're paying. If you go into the next bracket up, where you're paying close to £1,000, $1,000, then you're going to obviously expect something a lot better with the feel. But the overall feel is very nice. So that's it for the review of this this piano. I hope you enjoyed watching it. All the details are in the description bar, and the links will be in the description bar directly underneath the video. So thanks very much for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.